Hey guys, welcome to round 3, part 2. Jay Bell, Jerry Mumphrey, and Greg Swindell. This is round 3, part 2 of the 88 Donruss Rack Pack case break. So, we are moving right along. Got the puzzle piece. Jay Bell, Jerry Reed, Denny Walling, Rick Roden, Jack McDowell, Dale Murphy, Keith Miller, Ray Siraj, Jeff Robinson, the Diamond Kings Checklist, Bob Melvin, Rick Leach, Dan Carmen, Rich Gedman, Doug Drabeck, Harold Reynolds, Ricky Horton, Todd Benzinger, Tom Glavin, Damon Berryhill, Mark Davidson, Todd Worrell, Kevin Gerhardt, Scott Geraltz, Gerald Young, and who's bringing up the rear? Dave Winfield. All right, puzzle piece. We got Jerry Mumphrey, Chili Davis, Carney Lansford, Brian Fisher, Kevin Seitzer, Sean Dunston, Neil Heaton, Tim Raines MVP, Bill Duran, Steve Bushell, Ken Gerhardt, Herm Winningham, Rick Aguilera, Mike Lavalier, Danny Tartable, Damaso Garcia, Brett Butler, Kelly Downs, Gene Nelson, Tom Nito, Jose Oquendo, Sean Abner, Charlie Huff, Ron Hasse, and Ed Nunez. Puzzle piece. And we got a Greg Swindell, Bob Stanley, Don Robinson, Darryl Strawberry, Pete Incavia, Mackie Sasser, Vince Coleman, Mike Fitzgerald, Dave Stodd, Domingo Ramos, Bobby Thigpen, Marvell Wynn, Alejandro Griffin, Walt Terrell, Darnell Coles, Dave Martinez, Deion James, Floyd Humans, Lee Smith, Terry Steinbach, Scott Bradley, Donnie Moore, Mark McGuire, Milt Thompson, Frank White, and Ted Higuera. All right, we got Will Clark, Wes Gardner, Terry Kennedy. Got the puzzle piece. Terry Kennedy, Ken Phelps, Ken Daly, Frank White, Dave Rigetti, Dennis Rasmussen, Bob Welch, Diamond King, Tracy Jones, Mark Gabiska, Greg Maddox, Don Sutton, Tom Henke, Danny Darwin, Alfredo Griffin, Oral Hershiser, Steve Jelf, George Frazier, Greg Booker, Jay Howell, Jim Lindemann, Jerry Brown, Leon Durham, Dan Gladden, Lance Parrish, Greg Swindell, Chris Bando, Tom Pagnazzi picking up the rear. Puzzle piece. We got Wes Gardner, Joe Price, Greg Minton, Dave Schmidt, Chris Bozio, Jose Mesa, Paul Kilgus, Mark Williamson, Alan Ashby, Jerry Royster, Mark McGuire MVP, Gino Petrali, Mark Clear, Sid Fernandez, Don August, Mike Lloyd, Bill Schroeder, Tony Gwynn, Todd Stottlemyre, Dave Hengel, Bob James, Dave Bergman, Jody Davis, Tony Fernandez, and a Rick Sutcliffe and Daryl Miller picking up the rear. Will Clark, Burt Be Home by 11, Rocky Childress, Matt Young, Junior Ortiz, Geronimo Baroa, Greg Jeffries, Jody Reed, Mike Heath, John Crook, Jimmy Key, Wally Ritchie, Steve Baboni, Jamie Moyer, Alvin Davis MVP, Will Clark Diamond King, Dale Mahorsick, Mike Greenwell, Buddy Bell, Leo Franco, Terry McGriff, Luis Polonia, Tony Pena. The picture, Mike Morgan, Cal Ripken MVP, and the puzzle piece. Who do we got? We got Dave Winfield, Mike Vilecki, and Ted Power. Puzzle piece. Dave Winfield, Junior Ortiz, Geronimo Baroa, Mark Langston, Diamond King, Ripken basketball or baseball family, George Hendrick, Larry Parrish, Chet Lemon, Rob Murphy, Cecil, Rick Shue. I apologize for yawning. I just hadn't had much sleep the past 2 nights. Mickey Hatcher, J.D. Moyer, Alvin Davis MVP, Greg Jeffries, John Morris, Thad Bosley, Dwight Evans, Shane Raleigh, Andre Dawson, Diamond King, Paul O'Neill, Bud Black, Tony Pena, another picture, Ken Phelps, Manny Hernandez, and bringing up the rear, Dennis Eckersley. Got puzzle piece. Then we got Mike Vilecki, John Shelby, Bo Jackson, Donnie Hill, Howard Johnson, Gerald Perry, Pat Perry, Gene Garber, Cal Daniels, Dave Dravicki, Larry Herndon, Tony Phillips, Jeff Reed, Frank DePino, Rafael Santana, Ron Gant, David Cohn, Fred Manrique, Rick Manning, John Habian, Tim Wallach, Eddie Williams, Will Clark MVP, Don Mattingly MVP, Randy Myers, Mike Griffin. That was a nice pack. MVP back to back. Nothing wrong with that. Puzzle piece. Ted Power, Gene Garber, Cal Daniels, Al Padrique, Mike Marshall, Brett Saberhagen, Ron Hassey, Jerry Mumphrey, Willie Hernandez, Ozzie Virgil, Barry Lyons, Fred Manrique, Mike Aldretti, Alan Trammell, Kurt Young, Herm Winningham, Al Leiter, Jim Rice, Felix Furman, Randy Myers, Mike Griffin, Juan Castillo, Eddie Murray, Tim Burke, Tim Raines, Diamond Kings, Steve Lyons, and Tommy John. All right, guys. We got Rick Ruschel, Dwight Gooden, Pat Perry. We got the puzzle piece. Rick Ruschel, Pedro Guerrero MVP, Ernest Riles, Paul Kilgus, Mike Lloyd, Mark Williamson, Alan Ashby, Wayne Tollison, Joe Price, Domingo Ramos, Roger McDowell, John Candelaria, Dwight Evans, Daryl Miller, Bill Schrader, Tony Gwynn, Mariano Duncan, Mark McGuire MVP, Ed Romero, Scott Luciter, Mike Brumley, Rick Sutcliffe, David LaPointe, Mike Henneman, Bruce Ruffin, Julio Franco. Puzzle piece. We got Doc Gooden, John Tudor, John Marzano, Ron Robinson, Charlie Liebrandt, George Bell, Darryl Strawberry MVP, Kevin Seitzer MVP, Ken Griffey, set him off the side, Scott Bankhead, Rocky Childress, Ron Kittle, Zane Smith, Terry Steinbeck, Tim Laudner, Ripken Baseball Family, Billy Ripken, Tommy Gregg, Bart Bylevin, Wally Ritchie, Matt Young, Junior Ortiz, Mike Fitzgerald, Mark Langston, Jody Reed. Puzzle piece. Pat Perry, Gene Garber, Scott Fletcher, Diamond Kings, Mike Bielacki, Dave Anderson, Jim Eisenreich, Gary Pettis, Ed Lynch, Lance Johnson, Will Clark MVP, Ron Gant, David Cohn, Kirby Puckett MVP, Dave Javicki, Dan Petrie, Tony Bernazard, Harold Baines, Greg Walker, Wes Gardner, Tom Mattingly MVP, Randy Myers, Rick Ruschel, Rick Manning, Tim Raines, and bringing up the rear, Vance Law. All right, guys. So last of the part 2 of third round. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you want to see something different or other, just comment below and tell me what you want to see. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next time. Bye.